Hey you guys, it's your girl AJ, creator of She Say, He Say. We are here with another episode. Boo. Everyone's going to introduce themselves and we're going to get into it.
Hey family, what's up? It's your boy, Original Knockoff, here with another episode of She Say, He Say. We're going to tear the roof off of it tonight, family. Y'all stay tuned.
It's your girl, Ash Nicole. I am the plus size model of the group. I am here to give my perspective on the society we live in.
Hey, it's your girl Dawn. I'm here to give the less melanated opinion on this to keep the balance within the group.
Hey everybody, I'm Tyrone. I'm here for your international opinion. That's about it actually. That's all I got.
Hey. International perspective. Yeah. All right, so family, tonight what we wanted to talk to you guys about is there was a video that went viral on the internet, and it's basically a video that was trying to dismantle the Black Lives Matter movement and point out some things that they felt were not being discussed about the movement itself. And honestly, myself personally, I think this is stuff that you keep in-house and talk about amongst the family, but it's out there. So let's talk about it now. So essentially what this video was saying is this video was making a claim and a statement that a heterosexual male or female has no place in the Black Lives Matter movement based on the information that we saw on the website, right? The information on the website spoke to there being some opposition to the way things have been run in the past, and they want to dismantle what they believe to be cisgender privilege, right? And if you say that you want to dismantle cisgender privilege on a website that's supposed to be about all people, no matter what color it is, it sounds like to me you have beef, right? So that's kind of what we want to talk about tonight. So let's give our opinion on that part of it. AJ, do you think there's beef?
Here's the thing. I think that in reality, being someone who's part of the LGBTQ community, myself, y'all should be grateful that you're even being invited to the table. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to heterosexual individuals, especially in the Black community, we've never been accepted. We are used and exploited for our talents and our skills and then disposed of. So when you have those type of experiences, the fact that that there are women who are part of the LGBTQ community and they decided to expand that and invite all included as Black Lives Matter to make sure that we are all heard, it sounds to me like, once again, the LGBTQ community is one step ahead of the Black community.
Okay.
I think it's funny how you divided those communities while we're all Black. But you're saying two different communities, and that's to me is the division.
Yeah, but that's based off of heterosexuals creating it, and now
here
we are bringing it together.
You just did it, not heterosexuals, but you just did it. That's the thing.
Right. All right. Answer your thoughts on it.
Well, honestly, my thoughts on the situation is that if the LGBTQ community felt as though that they needed to have a platform, they should have made the platform that they needed to make specifically towards what they are. Black Lives Matter is exactly what that says. It's in big bold letters, Black Lives that matter. And if they wanted to singly talk about what it is that they want to matter in life, then they should have said, we have a message, we want to put it out here, and all can join. But they took a specific race and then made and pushed their agenda behind it, and I think that was where we went wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I look at that and I totally agree with what it is that you're saying in the respect that I'm down. I'm inclusive. I want everybody under that particular umbrella to move in one direction, right? And now here we go. We have to be divisive again because that's what we run into as a group, right? We can't never move within these movements that we're talking about because there's always some division, right? So my concern is here we go, creating division again. So Black Lives Matter, say what you are. Black Power movement, be what you are, but let's come together and let's see if we can resolve some things. What you think, Don?
I agree with that, but here we run into, this is what society has done to us. It has made us divide ourselves through a whole time. It's like we do it unconsciously, pretty much. It's like, so it's supposed to be Black Lives Matter, but we got to break it down in a group to make someone feel more comfortable now. Whereas really it shouldn't matter. white people are supposed to be involved in Black Lives Matter because they still matter. It's a thing. Like, that's why this movement, when it did go down, was so powerful, because it happened in every state. It wasn't just black people that were out there. It wasn't just gay people that were out there. White people, Hispanic people, Latino, whoever, whatever group you want to break it down to, everybody was out there, and that's why they were scared. Because for the first time, so many people, well, it may not be the first time in history, but the first time that I remember this occurring in my lifetime, that I've seen so many people come together, and it's all over the way social media works and everything now. So you got to see it on every platform. It wasn't people just talking about it. You got to literally see things happening. And that's why everybody was terrified of this, because everybody was coming together as a collective. Unfortunately, it was short-lived. You don't really see it happening now, but it was a very powerful movement to put everyone together. All these people were having one voice. Yeah. And then now we're breaking ourselves apart. We're dividing ourselves, and that's deteriorating the message.
But that's
right,
what I'm...
Hold on. We'll be right back.
But the issue to me is not the fact that BLM is being divided. It's that for once, it's all coming together cohesively. So what you have is a group of individuals that were being heard louder than black people. And because LGBT was giving, or LGBTQ was given a platform to be heard, laws were being passed. Now it's, okay, well, how can we, contort this into making sure we go for the next thing that needs to be fixed, the next set of laws that need to be taken care of. And that's a problem. I understand what you said, that was cute. However, at the end of the day, there is no division there, and that's the problem. Like I said, LGBTQ people have been getting exploited. So for those individuals who were shunned from their own homes to come back and say, let's work together, it shows the growth in that, and that's what the focus needs to be. That now we're all coming together cohesively, regardless of whatever the agenda is in the background.
Okay. The agenda, though, the agenda underneath, if it's not to support the entire movement, or if it's not to support black people in their entirety, right? Is that healthy for the movement? What you think?
Well, I want to first kind of respond to what you said. Okay, no, I love this. It's fun. So I think how you said that was cute, and that was nice that you said that.
You're welcome.
But I want to kind of respond to your section here. You were saying, you started your sentence really with, we should be happy we're invited to the table. And now my question to you're saying you're part of the LGBTQ community, right? Do you want to be equal? Do you want to be special?
No, the goal is to be equal. So what I'm saying is, if, for example, there's an entire story in the Bible of someone whose brothers sold him, and when he got to the position of power, rather than take that power and use it to hurt them, he used it to invite them to the same table they took him away from.
But that contradicts your statement then, because you're saying we should be happy that we're invited to the table. So that means that you guys own the table.
No, it's to say that, it's not to say we own the table, it's to say that we extend ourselves in spite of how we've been treated in the past.
And because of that, you want to be
equal. We want you to have a piece of the pie.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
No, because I honestly don't think that you guys want to be equal. I think that you guys want to be special, and I'm saying you guys in the most respectful way. I respect, it really doesn't matter what you do, and that if it doesn't affect me, I don't really care. But I do think that you guys want to be special, because you guys, as a community, force things on people. And because you force things on people, you're basically saying, we have to see this, you have to do this, you have to do that.
Now, wouldn't it be amazing if that was translated through BLM and now we're forcing people as a whole? Well, you have to see us as black people. You have to hold those accountable who are killing us. You have to change these laws to make sure we are just as protected and we have just as good a salary when we go ahead and apply. You have to make sure that the title of my name on a resume will not negate me from being able to get a job when I'm more, qualified than the next counterpart.
But that's dope. But the problem is it sounds like my sexuality stops me from getting a job with this country. I mean, with this company. I'm sorry. So that's what he's saying as far as being special, right? It speaks to that we're separating from this group of people, but we'll take your money, and we'll take you on the front line when we're marching. That's the only concern that I have with it, right? I'm inclusive, but to speak to what he said, that's kind of what it sounds like to me.
What's your opinion?
I'm gonna let you go ahead, Dawn.
I understand what both parties are saying here. I do. Because I catch it going for Black Lives Matter being Caucasian, so it's hard. So every time I try to say, okay, I can only speak from my own perspective, I can be like, but no, but we're talking about Black Lives. I know that that's what we're talking about. It's like they want to be heard just as well as like comparing it like Black Lives Matter. They want it to be the LGBTQ and IA, whatever it is. Now I can't keep up anymore. They want it to be heard that this is their thing and that's what they're doing. But it is coming across like now if you are heterosexual, we can't really be part of that. They're making themselves more special than the other. Like, I think it's not necessarily the message. I think it's the delivery of the message that is getting confused here. And people are taking things more personal than it should be.
You know, we live in a trigger-happy society. Everybody's so
We do.
sensitive.
Everybody is triggered. Instead of actually listening to what someone's saying, all they hear is the negative part that they don't agree with instead of listening to the whole message.
All right, what you got, Ash?
I just feel like if we're going to talk about what matters in this country, I say that Black lives are really the ones that stand out the most at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So to say any specific part of what's inside of that Black Lives Matter, it should be non and void, because right now our movement, our push forward, our society needs to come together with is to love each other unconditionally and wholeheartedly, instead of pulling out one specific thing at a time.
Right.
Right, I can dig it. Hey, we'll be right back. All right, so team, we back. The question is, who's responsible for squashing this beef between the LGBTQ community and the heterosexual Black community? Because we all family. So who's responsible for stepping up first?
I would say the responsibility lies on everybody. I mean, at this point, that's the whole point. The whole point of the Black Lives Matter movement is to bring everybody. That's not just Black. That's not just LGBT. That's Black, white, Hispanic, Latina, whomever. It's all of our points to make sure that we all come together as a collective. We begin to hold everybody accountable for what their role is in our society. And then at that point in time, we can be a better nation.
I think it's really an opinion and a respect type of thing. How much really do you care about your next? If I don't really care too much about what you do in the bedroom or what you do in your home, because it doesn't affect me. So I mind my business.
Amen.
And I think that everybody should just mind their business, because at the end of the day, we're all Black and we're still fighting for human rights, but everybody want to fight for their own rights. So we're all Black. We should be fighting for what we collectively decide to do, and let everybody live their life and simply say, let's not give a fuck what they do.
Amen.
Right.
Besides that.
Yeah.
Dig it.
All right, so I'll go. It sounds nice what you guys say, and I do respect that. I can agree with that. But when it comes to who squashes the beef, I've never seen someone, and I could be wrong, always feel free to comment and correct me if I am, but I've never seen an LGBTQ community after a riot corner a straight heterosexual cis man and beat the dog shit out of him coming out of a corner store. I've never seen an LGBTQ community or individuals feel threatened in an alleyway and kill a cis woman. So when it comes to where does the beef end, it ends with exactly what you say, people minding their business and understanding that we are all fighting the same battle, and stop making it so personal, because not for nothing, and I'll speak on everyone, you're not that damn cute. Ain't nobody checking for you. And so it sounds good to say everyone's responsible, but the LGBTQ community is not the ones creating such scary and terroristic behaviors in these streets.
Right. And I definitely feel where you're coming from, because it's the same effect that we're getting as a minority in this country, right? So it's the exact same thing. And I think that I think that the Black community, who has shunned the LGBTQ community for so long, I think we need to begin to embrace you and circle the wagons and make sure that you're protected as well. I'm a father of 2 gay children myself, right? And I fortify them daily. You know what I'm saying? With how I love you, how I protect you, and I protect you and love you just like anybody else in my household. And I think once we begin to establish that mindset, I think we'll be better off. I get what you're saying, and I did what you're saying, AJ. What you think, Don?
I get with both those parties, but I think going with that is like, yeah, it's a nice dream. It's a pretty little picture that we just painted. But AJ's 100% correct. It's like we're straight people, heterosexual people, however you want to refer to it. We're not the ones getting beat up or killed for how we live our lives. If we do mind our business and agree to just disagree that we like different things, that's cool. But you need to embrace everybody for who they are. Still, we're all still one race. It's one human race. We're all people. None of the other stuff matters. What you do doesn't matter to me.
All right, family. We'll be right back. So, all right, family. So here's my question. Once the movement has been realized, right? We all marching and we're doing our thing now. But once this movement is realized, what can we do as a community to show that we begin to respect the LGBTQ movement, not just the people, but the movement, even if we don't agree necessarily with the movement? What is it that what is it that we can begin to do? What you think, Don?
I feel you just got to show them you're there for support. Like if there's a rally or something, show up. Be there. Show them that you actually mean it. Actions speak louder than words. It's the same thing for, white people showing up to a Black Lives Matter movement. Did we have to? No, but we're standing with you all to prove that that's what we want. I think it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing, just showing that you are there for it and you show them some type of support with it. Rather it's posting on, social media, showing up to a rally or some type of movement or whatever, just to show that you're there for the people.
Yeah, I totally dig what you're saying. What's your thoughts, Tony?
Honestly, think that respect lays more in understanding. Mm-hmm. If there is an LGBT community a rally or a Black Lives rally, you don't necessarily have to show up. But your point is really to not stand against it either. Mm-hmm. And that's where people sometimes mess up because they stand against something they don't understand. And when you stand against it, you're the problem. But you could also just sit at home and mind your fucking business.
There you go.
That's it.
I agree wholeheartedly. I say mind your business. Like, I don't shun what you do in the bed, with anybody. And at this point, if it doesn't, whatever I eat don't make you shit, then why should I stand in the way of that? So if they have a movement, if they want to voice it, like there's pride marches yearly everywhere around the world. And they've been doing this for years. So let them have their time. Let them speak up. Listen to what they're saying if you want to, so you can understand a little bit better. But you don't have to stand in the way.
I gotta interject just for a quick second, y'all. I was like, but that's part of the problem. Is like sitting there saying nothing and not doing anything is part of the problem. It's the same thing if a white person sat there and didn't do nothing either. We're part of the issue. We're not showing support. We're not doing it.
Right. And I totally agree with what you're saying, Don, in the respect that I think that it's a lot of wounds that need to be healed. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of things that need to be said. And just sitting in our houses won't heal those wounds.
No.
Right? It won't get us past where we at. I think there needs to be a lot of conversation. Mm-hmm. I think that once we're through this Black Lives Matter movement, I really think that there really needs to be dialogue between the two groups so that we can really get an understanding and respect for where each other are.
I think that the word love is strong action. It's a strong word, and it creates a lot of accountability. It's very easy to say that you love someone, but to show those through how you handle them is completely different. So when it comes to how we're going to heal in totality, it comes down to how are you choosing to love people, whether you know them or understand them or not. When you look at someone down the street, you don't ask yourself, before I pick this person up who's walking with a ton of bags, are they gay? Mm-hmm. Before I stop this guy to help him with his tire, is he a racist? Before I do this, that's not what this comes down to. Mm-hmm. It is an internal thing. It is the conviction of your heart and how you handle others in spite of that. Mm-hmm. So let's start loving each other. Let's take our egos out of it, and let's focus on making sure that each person that we encounter is safe and protected and knows that the next person has their back. It only takes one person to smile to light up a whole room of smiles. Okay? That's the end of our segment, you guys. Be true to yourself. No apologies. Have a good night.